Hello, hello, everyone. This is Lydia. Or better known as Lily for most of you that know me. Today, we're going to have a hot show, and I call it a hot show because we're just going to be, what can I say? We're going to be all over the place. We're going to talk about the issues that I love to talk about because I think that sometimes I'm out there alone, and I'm not. So welcome to Mondays. Today's Monday. Please, somebody tell me today's Monday. I'm going away for a little bit, so I feel like it's not Monday, right? So that said, today we will have a guest that would really bring us closer to what our people need. And when I say our people, your people, my people, everybody's texting. So I hope everybody's okay. So I want all of you to consider grabbing your tea, talking to someone, sending, information to others, because we are about to blow your socks away. We have a lot of information to share with everybody. And for the first time, Lola's going to share the stage with me. Lola is a personality that lives in me, and she's a no-nonsense girl, or should I say auntie. And so she'll be with us today. So Lola no come cuento. So así es la cosa aquí en Lili Sin Barreras. Quiero comenzar con todos ustedes dándole gracias, pidiéndole bendiciones porque continuamos en la lucha, pero vamos a cambiar un poquito cómo se hacen las cosas. So próximamente van a estar con nosotros, conéctense, nos dejan saber si nos están escuchando, de dónde nos están escuchando, where are you hearing us from, where are you from, what are the concerns you have, what are the topics you would like us to cover. And here I go with one that, I have never said this publicly. Never, because, I believe in peace and harmony and let's all get along, all that kind of stuff that your grandmama teaches you. And my mama was kind of like, well, my mom is a hardcore, don't talk to them. As simple as that. But my grandmother had, this belief that, you just did right all the time. Well, sometimes it's hard to do right when the devil's walking on your shoulders. So I just want you all to think a little bit about what that looks like for you when the devil's walking on your shoulders. And I'm really talking about the devil. So this week alone, I was told that I was going to be on Facebook jail. One of our groups that marketing tried to reach out to and put us in, they told Facebook we were spam people. We are not spam. We don't need your group. Okay, let's not get it twisted. We were just trying to share information with everybody. And let me just clarify something. And I've never done this before, but I want to be straightforward with you, because this is the type of stuff that separates us in the community. When I go out and do my mission in the community, I serve, I receive, I love, all of that stuff that you see on the street, I don't make any money out of that. So stop the lies. I do not make any money out of it. It's all out of donations. And there's a lot of times I go into my pocket, and I'm so blessed that sometimes I can do that. I can't always do that. But let me just tell you, our Muslim community, our Baptist community, our evangelist community, they have come through. Even the atheist community has come through. I mean, I'm telling you, we've received loves from all kinds of places. So cut it out. Cut out the lies and your elitist ways of doing business, okay? Because I'm not interested. So that said, I hope our guests can connect and can connect soon. I do have eyes on both of the sides of the marketing, letting me know what your comments are, because sometimes I don't get to you as quickly as I should, because systems are different and you look at it different. Here comes out. We are Sarah. Today, what we're doing has a lot to do with you. I love you, my friend. You are so special. I'm so glad you're here. I always talk about this with anybody who will listen. You must have a tribe. You must have a tribe. You must have a tribe. How many times can I say that? Have a tribe, have a tribe, have a tribe, have a tribe. Well, Sarah is on my tribe. And it's beautiful to know that people love you just because you're you, and will step up and have your back and teach you things and always know that they can count on you and you can count on them. So the guest that I hope to have for today is actually a beauty, a demonstration of what it is to really spread the love in the community. So it is so important for me to say, stop it. Stop the crap, stop the BS, stop the lies. There's a lot of us out there doing the work, and we're doing it solely on donations. We're doing it because we know it's the right thing to do. And how do we get paid? Through our trainings, to our full-time jobs, to however it is you want to call it. That's how we get paid. Okay, we do not get paid because of the socks that we take out or any of that. All right, so just cut that crap out. That is not true, and I'm not interested in hearing that at all. So I just dropped it, and I'm telling you, so por si no me entendiste, okay, lo que nosotros hacemos en la comunidad, lo hacemos gratuitamente, ok, con el corazón abierto, no ganamos dinero de ellos. Esta carita que tú ves aquí no gana dinero de ellos, eso dejen las mentiras, primeramente. Y segundo, todo es de donaciones de nuestras comunidades evangélicas, pentecostales, musulmanas, ateas, todo el mundo metidos ahí ayudándonos. So, cuenten las cosas como son, no sean mentirosos ni bochincheros. Y yo no soy de las que ataca así, pero te lo voy a decir claritito porque yo me he vuelto con Lola, con Titi Lola, y Titi Lola dice que eso está mal y eso no se hace. ¿Ok? So, es súper importante. Canten las verdades. Miren, una de las cosas, aquí me están escribiendo los técnicos. Here's one of the things that fascinates me all the time. Right? You don't do anything, but you're criticizing those that do something. Cut it out. Cut it out. Find someone who can listen. But I wanted to bring to you guys a couple of things that have really touched me, have really changed the way we do things around here for me. Entró el link que le enviaste al messenger. All right, so let's see if we can find our guest around here. Let's see, he should be coming up here. As soon as he pops up, Jesse, see if we can take care of that. And here I am texting. Don't you love it when it's fun? Okay, so a lot of things going on. So I am going to take a little break. I'm going to go home to the island. For me, it's Puerto Rico. And it's very tricky because there's never a good time to go. There's never a good time to go. So remember that there's never a good time to go. You just have to make it a priority, and I've been pondering on this one for a while. Ayudas reales, cambios reales. Gracias, Lili Sin Barrera. Gracias a ustedes por todo el apoyo que nos dan. Ana, que Dios te bendiga. It is vital that we take self-care, and I got some really, really good friends who do this. Another one who is hooked up right here is Wanda Ehlers, that, you know, she steps up to the plate, calls me crazy, and she's correct. And last Tuesday, I'm telling you, it would not happen if it wasn't for them. But if I can't hold on to the special projects that I have, I can't be out there in the street. So that's why people are so vital in the movement. It is extremely important for people to stay in the movement with us. I'm going to put up here, just in case if our guest is watching, I'm going to put it all up here and hope that he can join us. And I think our tech folks are trying to get him in. But while that takes place, I wanted to share a couple of things with you. We have had a sister that you usually see here on Lily Sin Barreras, Maria Cruz. She has had to say goodbye to her mom. I have never had to say goodbye to a parent, so I'm not even going to pretend that I know what that's like. I don't even know what I would do if that would be my situation. Her name is Maria Cruz. She's always with us. She's very kind, very generous. And I have her permission to say this. She is looking for donations. They have to come up with $700 to be able to bury her mom. So I'm hoping that some of us will get inspired to do that. Pretty soon, I will put the information up here as soon as many people will connect, and it will go to Margarita Gonzalez. It's one of her best friends, and she will take care of receiving the money as well as making sure it gets to Maria. Maria, our hearts are broken for you. We pray for you. And as usual, Lily Sin Barreras will step up and do everything we can to support you in such a painful time. In such a painful time. So that said, I would like you all to consider if you want to make a donation. It doesn't matter how small it is. I will put pretty soon when she logs in here, Margarita's information, so you can send it via Cash App or make any type of connection with her. So that way you guys can connect. $700, when we look at it, is not a lot. If we all kind of do a little bit, it could take place. I cannot imagine having this extra stress of not being able to bury my loved one. So I hope that you guys will join in this mission. I really want to thank Sudor Taino. Our girl Carla Medina, man, she rocks it every time. She rocks it every time, every time, every time, every time. I must tell you, she sent me this beautiful video, and she had put together, well, she has put together socks and underwears for our brothers and sisters. How could you not love her? So the Taino's always doing beautiful things, not only for me. They've done stuff for Puerto Rico. They're always doing things out in the community. Check out our girl. Go onto her page. Pretty soon she's having her event. If, I'm healthy, I'm there. I'm definitely there. I'd love to participate, and I would love to take some people with me, because it is an amazing event. It's spirit, mind, and soul, and I hope I said that right. For Carla, I am looking at all the messages that I'm receiving. People are active today. So pretty soon we'll be there. I also wanted to share with you that I have a loved one or someone I care very much that does not enjoy reading books. But I mentioned to you guys this before. I had the opportunity and the privilege of interviewing Dr. Margaret Robinson Rutherford, PhD, and she is a psychologist. And she wrote this book. It's called Perfectly Hidden Depression: How to Break Free from the Perfectly Hidden Depression, Mask of Your Depression. So I want to recommend it to you. Tell me if I'm doing a good job at showing it to you. I hope I am. Because there's someone who I never thought would pick it up and read it, and they are on it, and it has exercises in it. And I just want to tell you my take on it. I have read it twice, and I keep it because there's exercises that you can do. There's recommendations. There are people's stories, and it's not your traditional book that you would read. It's not your traditional self-help. There's stories, there are real stories about people here. And also Dr. Margaret is really honest about her own struggles with this. And this is like that depression that looms, that we kind of say, I just had a bad day, but you've been having that same bad day for 20 years. So that said, what I want to let you all know is this is a great book. I still have about 3 copies left. So if anybody wants one, let me know, and we'll find out how to get it to you. It's amazing. It's a great book. Another book that I want to let you know. It's from our sister Misotis Santiago. A lot of you know her as Mio. Misotis Santiago. I mean, I've devoured this book, and my lighting is not the best today, but I will put it up with my team so you can see it. Misotis Santiago, this is a memoir, and it's God's Diamond. And I know many people are like, oh, you're going to talk about God. The way that this woman walks you through chapters, it is incredible. And it's really about her journey. She is a survivor of 9/11, lost her fiance in one of the towers, had to build her life again, survivor of domestic violence, a single mother. I'm telling you, just took care of her daddy. Her daddy went to meet the maker just recently, a couple of days ago. I can't tell you how much I love this book, and it's drenching with pain, great advice. So we are also going to have our team make a link for you. It's not expensive at all. It's an easy read. You will not be able to put it down. There's just no way that you put this book down. There's just no way. I never do this, right? No way that you put this book down. It is incredible. Misotis, we will have her as a guest coming up. We have so much, and she's doing trainings for people. She's talking to women. She's talking to our younger generation, and she is so transparent. And it's unbelievable how transparent she is in this. And I'm hoping that my team is being able to help Lauren with logging in so we can get him up here and joining us. But let me just tell you, one of the most important things that I find in this book is, and I'll read it to you, it says, you are indeed God's diamond. Throughout life, God has picked us individually to transform us into his glory. Okay, so if you don't believe in the higher power, which I do, think about you being the special, special, special person in the world. And anybody who's a parent or loves someone, you want that person to feel special, right? So think about that. So if you want to take whatever other words are in there, but every trial, tribulation, people say, well, why did I go through that? For what? I have learned is my question. For what? The transformation molds you. I mean, she is incredible. Go to her page and you will find this. And let me just do a little bit more for her because she totally deserves it. Totally deserves it. Okay. So they're telling me that they're trying to get our guest to connect with us. But you can get this on her website. She has an amazing, amazing website, and I will make sure that our team puts it up there for you so you can look it up. So I Am My Story. I just think it's beautiful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful book. And again, I bring to you books that actually inspire me and that I would keep in my library all the time, and that you can go to and that you want to share with people. So tell me, what are some of your questions? Soon our guests will be able to connect with us, ready to join. See, you need to join. I have Jesse. Jesse, you there? Jesse, ¿me escuchas? Yo te escucho clarito, mi amor. Clarito. Jessie says, I'm working. I'm working. So she's working on getting someone with us, and we're gonna take her out of here because that means she's working on getting our guest to come to us. So perfectly hidden depression. God's Diamond. Thank you to Sudor Taino, to Carla Medina, who is always, always, always. And so what you see there is our transition. Always, always supporting us. The t-shirts that I have on, I don't know if you really can see it, are t-shirts that you order for $25, and it allows me to continue with my mission. For those of you who have asked me, Lily, what do you do to take this time off? It was really hard for me. Most people that know me and okay, know that it's really hard for me to let go, um, and make someone else in charge. Not because I don't think that they'll do a good job, because I'm always in fear that if I'm not there, I can't back them up. And last week, my girls really took care of it, including my cousin Margarita, Wanda Ellers, and so on and so forth. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is really about stepping up. You saw some stories on my page of spending time with my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter. And for me, one that's telling me the sound is delayed. Can everybody hear me? Please give me an indication. That can happen because we have 3 different cameras, and that happens sometimes when you have 3 different cameras going on. So you might get a delay from one site to another. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Yep, she's telling me the sound is delayed. So bear with us. So you might get some delay. It will fine as well. It would fine as well. It will be fine. Okay, so I got people texting me from all over the world at this point. So here's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about what's this dignity and respect, and who goes out there and who does the program and how do they do it, and how can you get involved. You can start your own thing. I have someone who's become a friend, and she really just saves things in her car, and she gives it to her brothers and sisters who are displaced, marginalized, or homeless. I just want to take a moment, if you guys will all allow me to do this. Here's Maria Cruz with her mommy, who is just passed away, and she really, really needs our help. She needs about $700, and I hope by the end of the show we will have something to offer her. So please consider raising your hand, letting us know, inboxing us, letting us know that you definitely want to give her a hand. Again, I cannot imagine having to have that extra stress on top of it. Maria, our most sincere condolences. Thank you for being here with us, and we will see everything that we can do that's in our power. I want to bring you guys closer to conversations that most people don't want to have. The diversity, the struggles that we have. I take full responsibility for everything that I say on my show. I don't put it on anybody else. Recently, I had an invitation, and which I truly participated in, from our councilwoman, Widali Bermudez, and Josh Mitchell, and I always screw up his last name, so I hope he'll forgive me for that. And it was about our police department. It was about where's the money going. It was about how do we hear the community. At least that's how I took it. And I was so saddened to see that there was not many of us there. The entire panel was there, but we were not there. And so we need to figure out better ways of connecting. Okay, so they're telling me that Tesenia, if he downloads just believe on his phone, then I can catch him. Okay, so he can do that. He can just download the application Believe, and then he can get in there, or he can go through Gmail. Whichever works. But Warren, you're worth it. So we're going to wait for you. And I know that a lot of people are looking forward to waiting for you. So where I want to take you guys a little bit closer to is that we are screaming for these conversations. Queremos siempre conversar de esto y lo aquello, lo otro. But then when people like Widalis Bermudez and Josh or Mari Santiago or this one or the other one puts together a Zoom, and none of us, here's Warren. Here he is. Here he is. There he is. There he is.
I don't know what I did to make it work. I don't have a clue.
Well, I know what it was. I don't know that you will agree with me, but I think it comes from upstairs.
Hey,
welcome, my brother. Welcome.
welcome. Now I'm driving. I'm have to multitask, so you guys got to bear with me.
What? Why are you driving? We're responsible if something happens to you.
No, I'm fine. I have to multitask right about now. I'm
Oh,
not
Lordy.
driving at the moment, but I just got to make a quick trip. I'm not going to be driving the whole time, just a quick trip.
Oh, brother, don't scare me. Don't scare me. Well, you know what, Warren? It's such a pleasure to have you. I've been watching your work. I don't know how you do it, but man, it just touches me. So if you don't mind, I want to tell a little story. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Maybe one you haven't heard.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook because, that's part of our lives. We got to keep connected. We got to make sure that our people know where we are, what we're doing, so on and so forth. And it was your birthday. Wow. It was your birthday and you were out there. And that day you could not get the donuts the regular way that you get it. And wow. I'm telling you, it impacted me. And you did it anyway. And it was your birthday. And the title of this is, the beauty of being uncomfortable. Because sometimes you're going to hit discomfort, right? Because you're planning to get this donation. And I've been there. Mm-hmm. I end up cooking in my kitchen and going, okay, what can I make? What can I make? And you took your birthday to be there at the park. And they just recently, and I know about you through a common, mutual friend we have who's Sarah Raskin, who I adore.
Right.
She adores your work. She adores you. She could not stop saying your name and always like, you guys have to connect. You guys have to connect. But that day, tears came down because that was a hard day for me. That day we lost one of our brothers. And there you were saying, no, we're still standing. We're still here. And then recently I heard you in one of your Facebooks, in which I appreciate so much the lives, because I think it's like the feeding of the soul. And you were talking about, no, don't thank me. Because some of the brothers or sisters were thanking you. And you were like, no, you don't understand what I receive. And so I just wanted to share that with people, that it's those moments that you go, damn, this person has it. They get it, like they get it, like they get it. Do I have time to read your bio? Because I think people need to know a little bit. Would that be okay?
Yep, that's okay.
Fine. It's a sick bio. See, I've been hanging out with my 14-year-old granddaughter. Okay, so I got language.
I hear you.
She might be watching going, no, don't say that. But your bio is diversity beyond diversity. So you have not had an easy ride at all. So I usually stay away from bios, but yours is one I want to read if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay. So, para todos ustedes, we are talking to Warren Hardy. Warren is a dedicated youth development professional and street mediator. You guys really need to figure out what that is. That is not an easy job. They are on call. And on call to receive whatever. Okay, so we don't know what you're walking into. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Absolutely right.
Okay, that's like when you don't know what you're being called for. Well, you usually know why you're being called, but you don't know what's going to happen once you are arriving. Born and raised in Hartford, graduated from Weber High School in 1992. He gained street knowledge. This is really important for you guys that don't know what this means. Street knowledge is vital. Vital. If you don't have it, you will not succeed. I'm sorry. You can have the best of intentions, but you have to know how to talk to people and be real. People smell BS miles away. They smell it. I smell it when people are talking to me. I'm like, I know you're not going to show up. Let's keep walking. Here's an interesting thing, and I say interesting because I think this is where you don't want the kids to go, or the next generation, and I don't want my next generation to go either. Street knowledge, right? But then you join and are part of this notorious gang that, if I don't know who hasn't heard about them, and if you haven't heard of them, you might have been sheltered, or you're not in our city. 20 Love. Right? It's very interesting. Upon return from 6 years of a 12-year prison sentence, 6 years of a 12-year prison sentence for racketeering, gang affiliation, in 2000, Warren changed his life and mentality from a negative to a positive, committing the rest of his life to the service of spreading a message for empowering, ending community violence. Dude, ending community violence? Like, that's huge. Huge, huge, huge. I mean, that's like a serious mission. Okay. You make me look weak. I'm like, can I just feed people and clothe people? And then I read your bio. I was like, damn. I was like, he's going to end it. You know, spreading the knowledge with, the peace. Since his release, he's volunteered for 6 years in service to his community before being employed as a youth outreach intervention specialist from 2007 to 2012. Led a team first responders, as well as serving in the capacity himself in order to address gang violence. So again, you're face to face with what you've lived. Like, it don't get close to that, right?
Not at all.
It doesn't get closer to that. So I cannot even imagine. Warren is loved because this is the only way. He has a BA in Human Services from Springfield College. That is amazing. But here is the part. The man doesn't seem to think it's enough. You know, when somebody doesn't think it's enough and they find another corner and another spot, he decides that he needs to open his own thing. Right? So he's certified nonviolence trainer, but he has this movement, and this just touched me. It's called Hype. Tell us about Hype, Warren, and I'm going to shut up. Tell us about Hype.
Okay, so Hype is it was basically designed from me not ever wanting to have my hands on the pulse of our community. Prior to me developing Hype, I had to make some decisions that took my hands off the pulse of the community, and that hurt me. Meaning, I had relationships with young people, community members that I didn't have. I had to make a decision, personal decisions that took me away from them abruptly, and that's one thing I hate, is to be there 1 second and then go on to the next, because I believe that, again, relationships, and I heard this from somebody else, they say relationships last forever, but programs come and go. And even though I may work for a particular program, my relationship is there forever. So I developed Hype, which is something for myself. So no matter where I'm working, I will always be able to have a pulse on the community. And Hype is specifically designed to get in the crevices of, you know what I'm saying, the streets, the communities, or whatever you want to call it, and build the necessary relationships through whatever, you know what I'm saying, means necessary, whether it's giving them a hot dog, coffee, donut, whether it's just being out there in the wee hours of the night, early morning. That's where some of the conversations, tend to, you know what I'm saying, have the most spark, when a person see you out there. When they can look at you and kind of like tell that you don't have to be out here, but you're out here because you care. And that's where you want to get to. Hype was designed to get to the why a person is carrying a gun, why a person is homeless, why a person is hurting, why a person is, I'm saying, selling drugs, why a person is joining a gang, right? Because a lot of times we just look at a person and we judge, and we hear from the radio or we hear from the news, and we'll be like, well, that person is in a gang. So if they're in a gang and they're doing bad things, then they deserve to go to jail. Or, they put themselves in this situation, then they deserve to be shot. Or, or he was participating in negative things. But you never know the why. And without knowing the why, you have a tendency to, prejudge a person. And I've said this many of times. It's like, a lot of our programs will crucify a person for coming in there smelling like weed. And my thing is, I smoked a lot of weed back in my days, a lot of weeds. So my thing is, if you crucify a person for smelling like weed, but you do not ask their why, right? If you do ask their why, you might say to them, "Let me hit that weed." Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you find out why they're smoking, you're gonna be like, I want some of that as well, because I don't know how you're able to cope. After being homeless, after being molested, after being abused, after going to a house, where drugs in every room, or after, and I'm speaking about myself, after not even learning how to read correctly, um, not even learning how to read, and write until the age of 27, right? Not going to school because, I wanted to learn, but going to school because, school was safer than my house. So you won't see, no one would ever understand that, because we can be conditioned to just think that because a person is present, that a person is present. But I wasn't present. I wasn't present mentally or emotionally. I was just present physically. So with that being said, it kind of like, put me in a bad spot to not be able to receive the basic learning of reading and writing and whatever else they were trying to teach, because maybe I went there hungry. Maybe I went there tired. Maybe I went there after seeing somebody get shot, or me myself probably getting into a fight, but I still showed up. But again, not to learn, but because it was safer than where I was prior to coming. So again, a lot of time we
I
judge.
love school, and people
Right.
don't know why I love school.
Right. So that's what hype came about, to really get to the nuts and bolts of what are the problems, to show a person that's going through hell. I'm going to go through hell with you, because as you stated earlier, I don't have a problem with being uncomfortable. And I love my kids, and I got family, and I love them just as much as anybody else love them. But we have to understand that we as adults, we as individuals that's older, we are responsible, and we need to accept responsibility for the conditions that we're living in. Because I said this, years ago, it's what we did as adults and what we didn't do as adults that have us in this current situation that we're in,
Amen.
right? So if we take responsibility for that, then you can look at it. I always say, look at it as a life and death, because it is. Look
It
at it
is.
as a life and death, and in that way, not to say that you need to risk your life. It just means that whatever it is that you're doing, from dotting the I to crossing the T, you know what's counting on it. You know what it means, to get the job done. So a lot of people think that I'm trying to invite people to risk their lives. No, it's only one Warren, right? But we all have specific roles that Warren can't do. And if we all accept those roles and get out of that comfortable mode, trust me, we can solve a lot more problems. The problem is that we fear is real and
Mhm.
comfortability is real. And as long as we're afraid or comfortable, nothing gets done. And we make excuses about, oh, I can't do this, or I don't want to risk that, or it's dangerous out there, or, that's not my kids. And, that's not the kind of mindset. Martin Luther King said, what affects one person directly affects us all indirectly. He said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Everywhere.
So that I'll stop there. But that's just what hype is all about. That's what Warren is all about. You guys have seen my shirts. Actions speak louder than words. There is no love without sacrifice. And we, on my shirt says I, but we have to lead by an example. And everybody's
Absolutely.
example is going to be different, because everybody's role is different. but you know what I'm saying, every no role is less as important as the next. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand again, if I'm standing in 100-degree weather and your job is to bring the water, your job is just as important as mine. And all you're doing is bringing the water. But without the water, I can't be successful. So we have to understand it's not we sometimes we get caught up with, you know what I'm saying, positions instead of just getting in where we fit in and getting the job done.
Warren, I think it's vital what you're saying. I mean, obviously I'm a woman and I have my perspective of how I deal with my boys. I give a lot of love. Majority of the people that I have the privilege to serve are men. Majority. I have a small population of women. And the question I get asked all the time is, how do you deal with men? And all I can think is my daddy in recovery, right? And he's very open about it. And when they look at me, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I didn't have the perfect home. I didn't, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this look that you're looking at now is, it's fabricated. I go to someone and they make it.
Right.
But I cried the tears. I, cleaned the vomit. I, did it. And all I wanted was my daddy to be safe and be healthy, be healthy, be
Right.
healthy. And in his 60s, a crash car, you know, almost lost his life in his 60s. And he decided, I'm going to grab on to this. And now I got the daddy I'd like, pops and me have always been like this. Like me, papa and me, we've always been like this. But the stories that I hear from men, even when I did Fatherhood Initiative, even in the jails, were so heartbreaking. I had generations, and you know this, generations
Mm-hmm.
of kids in jail. I had the grandfather, right? The father
Yep.
and the son. And there was almost, it was heartbreaking sometimes. And I do remember lots of times going there and leaving heavy hearted, like I did nothing. And what I was doing at the time was writing letters to their children and making sure we didn't say things like, your mama is, your
Wow.
mama
Right.
did. I was like, oh no, let's not talk about the mama. Although the mama, it was real, what they were feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It was about inviting that. You're in a different position. Obviously you're a male. How many of your clientels are males versus females? Many of your brothers and sisters, do you have a mix or do you see more males than females?
I see more males than female, because again, I'm a male, so there's a relate. I'm able. They're able. I'm able to somewhat relate to them, and they're able to somewhat relate to me, and I'm able to speak about experiences that, you know what I'm saying, I have actually lived, opposed to experiences that I've heard from somebody,
Mm-hmm.
experience
Mm-hmm.
that I've read in a book, or you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, third party or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and again, all the wrong turns that I've made in my life have, you know what I'm saying, given me, made it personal, so that when I speak, you know what I'm saying, as if, a little person, someone I love is about to run into the street and I don't want them to get hit by a car. And I use
Wow.
that example in groups because some of our kids sometimes can be a little, sensitive. And I
Mm-hmm.
ask them, how do you want me to speak to you? I tell them, I say, imagine your little brother or your little sister or someone is about to run into the street, and I asked them, what kind of tone are you going to use? Are you going to use your regular everyday talking voice, or are you going to say something that's going to stop them, you know what I'm saying, right where they are? And they get that, right? They understand that, if I just say a car is coming, that's probably not going to be effective. But if I'm giving it to them from, you know what I'm saying, from here, like as if their life depend on it, because it actually does, then
Does.
that's a little bit more. They can understand me, screaming or being aggressive because it's for a great cause. It's for, because I don't want you to leave the same way you came in. So they respect that.
Lauren, I know that we probably share similar circles, and I'm not comparing. I mean, obviously, we both have our grills, as they say. You
Right.
have your grill, I have my grill. I think it's important for us to unite as people who have chosen to reach out to our people. And when I say our people, I mean anybody. I don't need an ID. I don't need you to tell me your story, only if you want to. I just need to offer you whatever I have and you take whatever you need.
And
And
that's
I
called
hear,
giving life. That's called giving life. and receiving it every chance that you get. That's it. That's all I do. That's what you just described.
But there is, in my opinion, and feel free to disagree with me, I think we are so, and you mentioned some of this, we are so focused on what the government can do. And we are the most powerful bond it can be. I mean, when activists get together, when people start having this conversation, you know, if I show up on Saturday and whatever I have on my truck, I say, Warren, is yours. Can I download it here? Would that be okay? You know, how do I do it? Because you have to lead, follow, or get out of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I may need I'm only here for Warren. Warren, what do you want me to do? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that may be like, just like you said, I may be serving the coffee and I love coffee. So you may not want to give me that task. I don't like donuts very much. So give me the donuts,
Right.
but you know, just don't put me in charge of the coffee because you're going to miss some cups. But that said, we are still in this mentality. I just had this conversation with a couple of people in places where they can actually make changes, systematic changes, and they're really stuck on pilot programs and creating new pilot programs. I freaking hate pilot programs. Can I say that enough times?
Yeah.
I hate pilot programs because it supports your comment before they leave. 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, you get the funding, they're gone. And our people are stripped because you're gone. You're
Right.
literally gone. Do
Right.
you know what I mean? Oh, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That
Oh,
service is
yeah.
not here anymore. And what do you do then? So that, you know, it just drives me insane. What is your take on that? I mean, I got no trouble. You better put your money where your mouth is what I tell politicians all the time. The ones who know me, the ones who see me in the suit, and the ones who see me in my sneakers. I tell them that all of the time. We don't even have a wet shelter anymore. That worries me a lot, which goes back to your point. I would receive people, you know, I got a couple of my guys who, you know, the bottle is their friend. And I was like, all I want you to do is eat. I don't care. I
Right.
just want you to eat, you know, and boys were taking care of each other. And that's really what I want to see, you know, elevating one another. And my wish is that I will disappear.
Put yourself out of a job, huh?
That's my wish. My
Got
wish is that the community will do it itself, and one brother and one sister and their own. But what I'm finding is that we have so much pain and so much fear. What advise me? What do we do? Because I'm a female out here
right.
doing this kind of work. And sometimes I get some level of trust that I tell you, I come home to my husband and I go, God, I'm thinking of this one and that one. And if this one doesn't text me, I'm texting them. And you got to have boundaries. At some point, you know, you got to have, I wish I'll see you tomorrow is always my thing. I need to know that I can see you tomorrow. What are your recommendations for people out there trying to start an initiative or to support one like yours?
Well, I think first of all we have to be careful with um, service, right?
Mhm.
Service to me is like going to the gas station and filling your car up with gas, and you're only going to get as far as that gas is going to take you before you have to go back. And then, to piggyback off of what you said, sometimes the gas station is closed, or hold on one second. Sometimes the gas station is no longer there. I don't believe in kumbaya moments, which we as a community or as organizations will come out and we'll give away a bunch of turkeys. We'll sign people up. We'll get a bunch of demographic numbers, and then that's it. But I believe that saving lives needs to be a way of life. It needs to be something that we do when it's an inconvenience, like we talked about being um, uncomfortable. We need to come out when it's cold. We need to come out when it's hot. We need to view all children as if they are our own, just like you said earlier. Right? We need to We have so many different organizations working on so many different parts of the body, and the person is still on CPR. They still on life support because we have
Wow.
everybody, you know what I'm saying, doing everything except for addressing the heart of the problem. And the reason why most people don't address the heart of the problem is because you can't get measurements, right?
You
Because
want numbers. People
right,
want numbers.
exactly, right. And the problem with that is that the problem that we're trying to solve is it's a higher power type of thing, similar to what you said. You know why I magically got connected after trying to get through.
Hmm.
It's a higher power that allows us, that will allow us to fix the problem without, you know what I'm saying, people writing proposals for money and grants. And I'm not saying that that stuff is useless. I'm saying that if everybody is getting money to work on different parts of the body, then how are we going to actually save the person that we're working on? If the heart is, you know what I'm saying, the reason why this person is not, healthy, not doing well, then why aren't all hands on deck, you know what I'm saying, trying to, make sure the heart is straight, and then, we can move to a different part. And it's, again, it's like you said, we should be trying to put ourselves out of a job. Instead, we holding on to jobs. We providing the same service, knowing doggone well we only gonna get but so far. Then we're gonna apply for money again, and still the person is not fixed. But we move, and we're providing. To me, it's like providing false hope. It's like providing false hope because we make we selling dreams to individuals that we could save them, but you can't save a person by giving a person a job. You can't. And my philosophy has been that we are not at a deficit of successful, and I'm going to say people of color, right? We're not at a deficit when it comes to people of color. What we're at a deficit is people of color understanding the importance of giving back. That's where we're at a deficit at, because we are being conditioned to think that I need to get my house and my white picket fence, and I just need to get out the way. Well, while you getting out the way, there's a baby somewhere that's hungry, homeless, cold, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that, you know what I'm saying, you could do to save that young person. Maybe not directly, but again, sometimes I get asked a lot of time, Warren, what could we do to help the young people? I say be visible. Be
Mm.
visible. Because if they are doing negative and the only person they see is a Warren, a Dean, or I'm saying, Diego, or Brother Carr, Andrew Woods, or individuals, Larry Johnson, the individuals that's out here on a regular basis, that's not enough. How you gonna, what I'm saying, we're a group of like 8 of us, and then you pass 100, 200, 300 people, and they don't say a word. They're just minding their business, living their own life, right? That's the problem. We need to be more visible. We need to look at it, you know what I'm saying, these kids as our own kids, and stop being afraid of them, because the only reason why they are aggressive towards us is because we allowed them to be hurting for too long. We've
That's
been
a
MIA for too long, and then we have the audacity to come in because we're older, and we thinking that they need us and we don't need them, and we talking to them reckless, and they not tolerating that, and I don't blame them, because we shouldn't have never left them in the first place.
Warren, I have the privilege to work with brothers and sisters who are closer to my age, in their 50s and even older. And there's still a little boy and a little girl in there with what I call woundology, which comes from a old book. And sometimes I would say it's more than a sandwich, it's more than food, is breaking bread and listening. And on Mother's Day, I was so touched because I got so many texts, not from my family,
Right.
but from my second family.
Mm-hmm.
No request for anything. They all have my phone number, where people are like, are you crazy? I'm like, yep, they all have my phone number. They keep me posted. They, there's places they'll let me allow to go and not allow to go, because, they still think, I'm a little girl and I can't go certain places. That I've already been there before they've been there. But in my field, I get a lot of men who are in their 50s or older,
Mm-hmm.
and they are screaming, they are crying, they are bleeding.
Yes.
um what do we do for them?
I
Because
just think
I'm one of the few women out there on the ground, and I get the criticism all the time. I'm okay with it. It's like fuel for the fire. That's okay. um, what do we do with these men who want to reconnect with their loved ones who've been thrown away for a long time? And yes, they have some responsibility. I'm not going to deny to you that they do have some responsibility to some of these ill relationships, but they want to get back out there. What is your recommendation?
I think it's a slow process to get back out there for individuals that again, that's one of the reasons that I do and that wasn't even it wasn't even my I wasn't even thinking along these lines when I started doing the coffee and donuts. But when I went out there and I'm started doing the coffee and donuts, and I'm saying to myself, these are individuals, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, and they have a story to tell. And as I have stated in my lives before, I get more than I give.
I do too.
I get more than I give, and I get um, some of their stories about why they out there and how they're trying to get their lives together, and and they start telling the stories about their kids, right? Their kids, they'll tell you, and it's funny because I always say this, right? Um, we are we said we dealing with corona right now, and we want to be social distancing so we don't make anybody get the corona. But the whole time we've been social distancing, what I'm saying, in the first place. We've been social distancing emotionally, spiritually, and even physically and mentally. And because we've been social distancing like that, um again, it's kind of like food, right? It's kind of like food. When you feed yourself, you give yourself some physical food. We forgetting that we can't just live off of physical food alone. We need love. We need that emotional food, that spiritual food, that mental food. You know what I'm saying? We need all of that. And because we've been social distancing, a lot of individuals, we can walk by a person that, what I'm saying, may not be physically hungry, but they may be emotionally hungry, what I'm saying, or spiritually hungry, or mentally hungry. And you don't, if you don't have a certain eye, what I'm saying, to catch it, then what I'm saying, you walk past a person that needs CPR and you don't give it to them, right? And that's a very incredible feeling, because again, when I'm down there and these people in the park and they're talking about how many kids they have and how they want to get their families back, and it's just it's a process that it requires. And I keep telling people, it requires all hands on
On
deck.
deck.
It require us not to do what my pastor said, which is we have become a society that is loving things and using people. And it's supposed to be the other way around, right? But we're in this, we're in this America where we just gotta have stuff. We gotta have a fancy car now.
Lots of it.
Lots of it, not just stuff that we need. We need some stuff, but we, know what I'm saying, we overdoing it because we feeling empty if we don't have a fancy car, or we don't have a nice house, or we don't have a lot of money in our pocket. And our young people are caught in that same trap. Our young people are caught in that same trap where they're trying to be somebody. They're trying to get some kind of attention. And a lot of times it's negative attention, but any attention is better than no attention. And
Absolutely.
and they are clothing themselves with negative attention. And no one wants to be naked. So when a person said, well, why are the young people, what I'm saying, participating in so much violence? Well, let me see you walk out in the street naked, so everybody can look at you and laugh at you and see how embarrassed you are. So it's not as easy as what people think, or why the young people are shooting. This has become their clothes. This has become their shield to hide behind, because when they were naked, and they was, right? Whether it was physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, no one did anything. So they decided that if no one is going to help me out, what I'm saying, in this critical state because I'm just a kid, right? If no one is going to help me out, then I don't need them. So now we have this culture of young people that, what I'm saying, are doing what they're doing. And yes, it's not a good thing. But again, until we start the healing process, no matter what that is, then we're going to continue to be in this situation. And it doesn't just happen with young people, because I always say, if I just walk up to a strange person right now and I ask that person some personal questions like, "Hey, what's your favorite color? You know what I'm saying? Do you like dogs or do you like cats? How many siblings do you have? You know what I'm saying? Where you from? You know what I'm saying? Where you live at?" They're going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. But on the flip side, in a life and death situation where no one, what I'm saying, this could be the end, right? All of a sudden, you're not worried about the person on the left or the person on the right judging you and making you feel bad. So now the
Mhm.
same information that was so personal when everybody was around, you voluntarily give because this may be your last chance. So I know what's your favorite color. I know whether you like cats or dogs. I know whether you got brothers and sisters and how many, and I know their names, right? Because you're not afraid of the judgment. So we have to get past judging people, right? And just start, what I'm saying, being uncomfortable. And I know that some of us have trauma and it doesn't allow us to be as open as we, what I'm saying, want to be. Protect yourself. But, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the most religious person, but I do believe in a higher power,
Amen.
right? I do believe in a higher power. So if you believe in a higher power, right, and just protect yourself, but don't, I'm saying, don't want to live more than you want to do the right thing. And I'll end it there, because I don't want to live more than I want to do the right thing. Because if everybody have that same excuse, then how is the right thing ever going to get done? Because we all want to live. We all got families that we would love to go back home to. So if everybody take that approach that I want to get back home to my family, or I don't want to risk my life, you know, then the right thing never gets done. We need to create a community that's going to allow, what I'm saying, for a person not to even have that thought enter into their mind. I want you to know personally that, what I'm saying, if something was to happen to you, I want to meet your kids. Let's let our kids meet right now so that I can, what I'm saying, be a big brother or a father figure to your kids and vice versa. So we're not struggling, because right now we're in a state where if one person is the breadwinner, right? If this person is going out and he's the sole provider for his family, then he kind of have a little bit of right to, what I'm saying, not want to, what I'm saying, lose his life, what I'm saying, and then because he got to take care of his family or her, right? But if that person is surrounded by people who he know for a fact that if something was to happen to him, that his daughters gain more brothers and sisters and more father figures and mother figures automatically. That's what we have to do. We have to create that atmosphere so a person don't feel like they have a good reason not to help somebody because of the danger it may cause.
Man, I want to sit in a workshop with you. That's all I got to say. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, but I definitely want to sit in a workshop with you, because I think we could just seep so much of the information, and the language that you use is so important. I want to be very clear to everybody that if you have a moment, go onto his page. He got some fly clothes. So you can buy some really, really hype stuff. It's really cool. I saw some young woman post it. I was like, hey, I want one of those. So I am gonna order mine, which I turned down. And then I
Right,
saw this young woman was like, wait a minute, those are really cool. I want one
right.
of those. I think I can have one for me and my granddaughter who's 14. And that's what I really think about. I think about, what could I had as a child that would have made um, a different formation for me. And it's not boo-hoo. It's just, as a Latina woman, learning the language, coming and, not being dark enough, not being white enough, like being right in the middle, and, carrying kind of my daddy's genes, my mom's discipline and my daddy's genes, kind of stuff. So at an early age, I kind of, if you go back, I kind of knew what I was going to do. I just didn't know how.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same things made me angry. Injustice, people being invisible, that kind of stuff, You can shine your shoes all you want. You can get all the PhDs you want. You can have as much money as you want. That does not impress me at all. When I see you share your lunch, I'm impressed. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. And I think that's really important. What I really would like to see, Warren, is to get you closer to the community, for you to inform us more. And hopefully you and I can collaborate, because I think I have a lot. And I mean this with an open heart, that I can offer. But we always need mentors. And I think they could be, mentors on the go. Like I say to people, you got to be able to lead, follow, or get out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm the girl who shows up on Saturday and helps you clean the garbage. And that's okay with me, because I was out there and I felt the love and, that kind of stuff. And everybody matters. And when I get home, can I just tell you this, Warren? When we go through the lights, and I know we're not exactly in the same population, but if you stop by the lights, and I'm going to offend some people, but hey, here's how I go, and here's how I do it all the time. Is not African American people who are standing in those lights. It is not Latinos who are standing in those lights. That's the minority, the minority, the minority. There's white Americans suffering a lot of pain, and they are also invisible. So we have abandoned anything we don't like.
Right.
Anything. It's just, we can't see you, we can't hear you. So I just want to take that myth away, and I challenge everybody, go through the lights, all of those signs that annoy you from panhandling and whatever, start making your notes, because it is not as clean cut as you think. Warren, words of wisdom, because I see you looking all over the place, and I know you're a busy man, but we'll bring you back. We'll pin you down.
Okay.
Tell me words of wisdom. Leave me with some words of wisdom.
Well, my words of wisdom is, again, we have to love harder and hug tighter on the ones that we love, and even the ones that we don't even know that we love, right here and right now. We have to give life and receive it every chance that we get. And I'll end by saying action speaks louder than words. We have to lead by an example, and there is no love without sacrifice. That's it. You're welcome.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon out there. I am going home to Puerto Rico to get some rest and kiss my mama, which we haven't done in 2 years. So I will be connecting with you, because I figured that what I could have done in those 2 weeks is going to go to you. So I'm sure you can do some good use with it.
Connect.
Okay.
Let's connect.
Okay. God bless you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
All right. Have a blessed night.
Okay.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from Warren Hardy. He is a member of your community, another loving soul. Think about where you invest your energy and how do you go about that. Before we close the show, I don't know if Maria is still with us. Maria, if you are, please shout out that you are with us. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Maria Cruz. Maria, if you're still with us, I would like you. Maria Rivera, thank you for being with us. Angelica Garcia, gracias, Sarah Raskin. Thank you for being with us. We are moving over to answer the questions that people write about, or ask me questions that are more personal, onto our Instagram page. Maria says yes. So I'm going to do this, and I don't even know if we could do it here, but let's see if we can. replying to Maria. So Maria, I want you to know that some donations have come on. Where are you? Let me see if I can get you up here. Where are you? Like I mentioned, Maria's mama has just passed away and she needs our help. And we would love, Maria, if you can transfer yourself to our Instagram, please. I know you're really busy, but we have a nice surprise for you. Okay. From my family to yours, God bless you. I am going to be traveling. Everything's going to be taken care of. But we will do some videos from the island and our team will take care of everything. I want to thank my team, Dads, for always being there and taking care of business. Lo quiero muchísimo. I want to thank my friend Sarah and all of you that always show up. And I really, really want to thank my girl Mori, Chokyomi, Yesenia Garcia for always showing up and doing the right thing. God bless you all. Los veo en Instagram en un momentito. Chao, mi gente. Buenas noches.